Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An Rh negative mother carrying an Rh positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every Rh negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome to the Outside View presented by Women's Cricket Zone and brought to you by BSV, Puma, Food and Wellness, MRI Hospitals and MPL Sports Foundation. So finally we have our second finalists of this tournament. England are going to lock horns with Australia at the summit clash on 3rd of April. It's going to be six-time World Cup champions versus the fourth-time World Cup champions. England have won the game against South Africa by a massive margin of 137 runs. Of course, we'll head to Dane first to get her first reactions on that. We knew that it was going to be a difficult run chase, but considering the form of the batting unit, we wanted to see a better performance coming in from South Africa, Dane.
Yeah, look, very disappointed. Pretty broken for the team, especially not being there. Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but maybe not good enough on the day. So yeah, it's definitely some sad faces there. And apologies that I'm in a car now. I had to go to the studio to obviously chat about the game as well. So yeah, just obviously broken. I know the team's standards is way better than that and what they've shown throughout this whole tournament. So, but having said that, I hope they are proud of what they've achieved as a team. They've really united the country. It's been a big buzz behind the team, and I just want to give them credit for that as well and the way they carried themselves.
Definitely, as you say that the team should be proud of the journey that they've had in this tournament so far. We've seen some good performances coming in from there, the bowling unit as well and the batting unit as well. So Sunil Rees was of course captain in the side, and you were not because you were not there, Dane there. So how do you first of all, your reactions on the way she's led the team in this tournament, and how would then she take this team from this heartbreak? Because this was a similar story from the 2017 ODI World Cup as well. It hurts when you've had a good tournament, you've tried your best to get every close game to your.
Yeah, I think I lost you a little bit there. Look, Shania has been incredible, and I cannot fault anything she has done. It's never easy to be thrown in the deep end, captaining a World Cup, and the way she's carried herself, the way she's obviously carried herself on the field, she's a calming force, and I think she did really well, given under the circumstances. So really well done to her. And yes, it's hard to console your teammates. I've been there a couple of times. Never fun, but as a captain, you need to be the strong one as well. And they should be sad. I'd be surprised if they're not sad. So they just need to make sure that they are, they stick together and they'll get through it. It's a very good team, and no doubt a World Cup is around the corner for this team.
Definitely. That's what we would all hope for. But let's just have a look at the batting scorecard there. Not a very good view for the South African fans and the followers of the South African team there. But of course, we were talking about how important the openers will be for South Africa today, but both of them couldn't make a larger impact on the game. Of course, Lara Goodall looked quite comfortable there with 29 runs. Sunil tried her best there. Minyan Rupriya, we were expecting more from her considering the form that she carried from the last game against India, and Marizan Kaap, of course, an experienced campaigner there. But it was a batting collapse because a too good a performance from the England's bowling unit. But coming to you, Britney, this game, this loss for South Africa is emotional for so many people. Like for us, the Indians, if we talk about that, we were knocked out of the tournament because South Africa won the game. A lot of people here were backing South Africa. The reason behind that was we wanted to see a new finalist getting there because England and Australia have been playing the finals since always, if we can say so. So that way, this win of England, of course, they've earned it. They've had a terrific game today, but the loss of South Africa is not just hurting the South African fans, but a lot of people out there.
Yes, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow for all South African players and South Africa fans, because everyone thought that this going to be South Africa World Cup, that South Africa Australia going to be the two teams that's going to be in the final, and it's unfortunate, fortunately, that it did not happen, but as Dane rightfully said, there's so much positive coming out of this World Cup campaign. You know, having lost one of their main players in terms of that and not being in World Cup, there is sure that a lot of players have stepped up and taken responsibility. And I know that a lot of players have now become leaders in Danny absent, and it's going to be as I say, a tough pill to swallow, but there's another World Cup coming up that South Africa is going to be host to, so it's going to be exciting for them to look forward to.
We're all looking forward to the days to come, but South Africa gave us some really tensed matches, some exciting matches out there. Mohit, how do you look at their campaign? Of course, today was not their day. England came out stronger, but they have a lot of positives to take from this campaign of theirs.
Yeah, I think both South Africa and West Indies can be very proud of themselves. They deserve to be in the semis, and especially South Africa has been like one of the two outstanding teams over the last World Cup cycle. They've played more matches than anyone else. They've won more matches than anyone else. So, like Britney said, most of us on the panel also had them down as one of the two finalists. In fact, some people didn't pick Australia, but almost everyone had picked South Africa because of their sheer consistency and how well they've done over the last 5-year period. Um, they did really well. Like a couple of their big players didn't fire today, and that over reliance probably cost them. And let's not forget the fact that they were missing someone like Dane, who's not just their lead spinner, but also one of their best batters. So someone like her could have made a huge difference today, as well as right through the tournament. Because like we've been saying, their wicket taking through the middle overs was an issue right through the tournament. They were outstanding in the power play, and they were probably the best death bowling side that we've seen not just in this tournament, but across any World Cup, because that death bowling is something that has really stood out. But getting wickets through the middle overs was a problem, and that's something which caused them today as well. And their middle order batting has also been a concern, because Laura Wolfart and Sunellis have done most of the heavy lifting in the top five. So someone like Dane could have made a huge difference, and that's just the nature of knockouts. Like any team can have an off day. You wish that it doesn't happen in the knockouts, but unfortunately, that is what has happened both for the West Indies yesterday and for the South African team today. But like we've seen, both these teams have done really well right through the tournament. And even if they've lost in the semi-final, I think they have a lot of positives and a lot to build on. And like Dane said, their time will come soon, and I can see both these teams winning a World Cup in the near future.
Definitely, the time will come soon, but then of course it's a process. When we talk about a World Cup, you keep trying and making combinations and different changes in your side for the 3 years to come. You plan things with the perspective of a World Cup, and you of course have been a part of that process. So how do you look at that? The how ready the team was to head into this tournament, because we saw that the pace trio did their work. The bowling was at the center when the team had won. The Laura Wolfart, of course, she has been a terrific form. She continued her good form here as well. Lees, of course, with her captaincy and bat as well. And if we talk about Lizelle, missed the game due to COVID, couldn't make a very big impact on this tournament, but we know what kind of a player it is. So you were a part of process, and what we saw of South Africa in this tournament. How would you sum up? You're satisfied with the way the team carried themselves?
Absolutely. It's been a process, and you plan everything, and then I decide to break my ankle 3 days before we go on tour. That throws things off. But the way the team has adapted, the way they took the challenges, and that's what I saw this whole World Cup. Every challenge they rose above it, and that's what we stand for as a team as well. Is we always rise, and certainly I've done that. They've done the country proud. They've done me very proud, and yeah, it's just been it's been a very emotional morning. Yeah, because I had to be there. But yeah, I'm very proud of them.
Definitely. It is a moment for all of us to cherish it because, after all, we just get one winner at the end of the match, but the efforts that go on in the entire process. And we, of course, understand, Danny, that how important it was for South Africa because the kind of tournament they have, but a lot of positives for them to take. But England did not allow them to chase down the total today. Let's have a look at the bowling scorecard because that's what probably is the talk of the day today. How can we just not talk about someone like Sophie Ecclestone has been doing the job for the side since so long now in this tournament, especially. Anya Shrubsole, 2 wickets there, and Kate Cross, of course, economical with the ball. She has been economical with the ball in this tournament for England, and Charlie Dean, of course, having 1 wicket to her account. Kathleen Brunt bowled 4 overs there, no wicket, but economical again. But of course, we were talking about the inclusion of Anya Shrubsole, Britney. We were talking about how Lizelle Lee averages just 19 against her, and probably that was the reason she came in the side because Freya Davis did nothing wrong in the last game, but it was experience that England wanted today, and she gave you that too early breakthroughs because you remove South Africa's top order, you're already halfway in the game.
Yeah, we spoke earlier on that how important South Africa top order is. I know Anya came into the team today and just change the whole game for England, and that's where experience come in, I guess, because you mentioned that how in the England bowling opening bowlers haven't been effective in the World Cup thus far, for them to come and step up in such a important game for England is fantastic.
Definitely. Anya Shrubsole, Dani, you were also mentioning about her that probably that's the reason why she got into the side and she did her job for the side, giving you Laura Wolfhard and Lizelle Lee. And from there, it was a big task for South Africa to capitalize whatever they could have.
Yeah, she started off well, and that's why she got picked. So well done to England for their selection. Once again, tactically, they were on point again. And having said that, England also didn't have the best start, but they had one batter going in. So I think the mentality from South Africa had to be the same. Somebody just sticking it out and trying to take it deep, but still batting at a good rate. So yeah, but again, tactically very good from England.
Definitely. And next, coming to Sophie Ecclestone, of course, every England match, we are coming in the post match or mid show, and we are talking about Sophie Ecclestone just coming in there, bowling economical overs, giving the team early breakthroughs. Today, she took 6 wickets in the match, a semi final game, and the defending champions are into the finals. How impressive was she today, Mohit?
Yeah, she's been very impressive right through the tournament, and we just need to like look at her resilience here because in the very first match that England played in this tournament, she went wicketless, and her spell was 10 overs for 77, which is like her most expensive spell ever. But Sophie Ecclestone has then gone on to pick 4 3-wicket hauls in the space of 6 or 7 matches, and a lot of big wickets as well. And she's gotten wickets which have changed the complexion of the match. Like in the league stage against West Indies, she got Stephanie Taylor for a duck. When you get wickets of those sort, like that just dents the opposition's confidence. Even against India, she got some big wickets. And today she was like by the time she'd come in, a lot of the damage was already done by Anya Shrubsole and Kate Cross, and South Africa needed an asking rate of 8 already. But then to pick 6 wickets after 25 overs is something that's really exceptional because she got some great players out today as well. Be it Marizan Kaap, Trisha Chetty, all of these are key players who've won South Africa matches, not just
Yeah.
in this tournament, but over the years as well. And they are players who have the potential to score at that rate as well. They might not have had the opportunity today because South Africa lost the top two quite soon, and Kate Cross also took that crucial wicket. But Sophie Ecclestone, I think, has been the bowler of this tournament, and she's enjoyed the extra bounce that's there in the New Zealand surfaces because there's not just turn, but there's also a lot of bounce. And because of the pace at which Sophie Ecclestone bowls, you can't just walk down the wicket and maneuver the ball, which is what you can do against a lot of the other spinners who bowl at a slightly lesser pace. So she has pace, accuracy, and bounce, and all those three things make for a really lethal combination, as most batters in this tournament would attest to.
Would want to add to that, Brittany, because as Mohit rightly said, that taking the wickets of the key players from the opposition, coming in the middle overs, and then breaking the important partnership. Sophie Ecclestone has been doing that for England in this tournament, and that has helped them to bounce back stronger after three defeats in a row.
Yes, we spoke about how in preview leading up to the World Cup, how important Sophie Ecclestone would have been on these pitches. Like Mohit just explained that that extra height on those wickets, sometimes she get the ball to skid on, and she's now starting to bowl with variation in terms of pace, and to come in after 25 overs and still take 6 wicket is such a great performance. And in fact, I had no idea that she had never taken a 5 wicket haul. And she being the number one bowler in the world, have never taken a 5 wicket haul. It just goes to show how great of a bowler she is, and she's going to be very important for England going into the finals.
And as we talk about the process and the journey, we just had a word on the journey of South Africa. But of course, England also, Dane, we saw that they came from a defeat from the Ashes. Probably they are the only team in this tournament who have been away from home for a very long period of time. And now with this quarantine, the restrictions that are put on the players, that should be emotionally demanding for the side as well. But all credits to the management, to Captain Heather Knight, the way they've bounced back in this tournament, because all the four games were must wins for them. A slip there would have cost them this semi-final spot, but they managed to win it. So commendable effort from them.
Absolutely. I've been saying it. We've had our fights against England many years, but you have to give credit where it's due. And the fact that they played uh, inevitably 4 knockout games plus this game is incredible, and winning as well, and winning quite convincingly. So it's credit to I guess the think tank, the leaders within that setup. And as you mentioned, it's a long time away from home. It's very taxing on somebody. All of us have toured extended periods, but this has been a long time. And I think a good for them, the cap is to take that trophy home, because I mean, as you mentioned, they've been away a long time. And again, we have to give credit where it's due, and well done to England.
You agree to that, Brittany? Because we've seen people started writing off England. They were like they are in pressure, and we saw that pressure that they carried on the pitch because they were facing difficulties in fielding. Their key players weren't in form, but then they came back in patches initially. But then they managed to win all the four games, and they are into the finals, going to face Australia on 3rd of April.
Yeah, people write off England since the Ashes series. Look at the series that they played, and all their bowlers, no batters, in was in form, and I won't lie, they wasn't even in my top four, but it just goes to show the character, and talked about they actually start to peak, and all their batters and bowlers are coming in, such a long tour, and the fact that they have a chance to play Australia in the finals. There's a lot up to grasp, because Australia demolished them in the Ashes. Australia have 6 trophies, they have 4, so it's going to be a great finals.
It's like before the World Cup, we saw India and Australia, and all this while we've seen other teams, and again we are seeing Australia and England into the finals. But of course, one thing that I've picked up from what Dane has always kept saying is that cricket is a funny game. Pressure makes you do funny things around there, and of course, she also always mentioned that the World Cup is a different kind of a beast. So you can expect and England coming in stronger was one such surprise, Mohit.
Yeah, I think we've seen it with England over the years. If we look back on the 2017 World Cup as well, they had a pretty rough start, but from there they went on to win it. They've won a lot of tight matches. Even here, they've not had it easy at all. Like Heather Knight said yesterday in the pre-match press conference, after the first 3 matches, every game was a knockout for them. So they actually have won 5 matches now on the trot, where if they would have lost a single match, they would have been out of the tournament. So yeah, and a lot of them were close matches. Like against India, they struggled a lot in the chase. they they were comfortable against Pakistan and Bangladesh, but the India game was really close, and I think that gave them a lot of confidence in. Yeah, so but yeah, like you said, like they have a lot of players that have a lot of big match experience, and their young players have also stepped up in the tournament, which is really good. Like if you look at someone like Sophia Dunkley, she's been absolutely key, and I don't see too many players in other teams who like come in at number 6 and 7 and then to like score so consistently, that too at a strike rate over 80, 90 in every game is not easy at all. Like if you look right across the tournament, Marizan Kap's probably the only other player who's done that, to come in those difficult situations and keep the scoring rate up in every single match. So I think Sophia Dunkley's probably been the find of the tournament for England. And yeah, she's delivered those crucial runs. And even today, like Dane said, South Africa seemed to be on top of England for quite some time in that first innings. And it was the partnership between Sophia Dunkley and Danny Wyatt which turned around England's fortunes. And even with the ball, like England's decision to play Charlie Dean, it came in a little late into the tournament, but ever since she's come into the side, she's been really impressive. The lines that she's bowled, the lengths that she's bowled, and again, someone like Sophie Ecclestone, who's gotten the key wicket. She got Harmanpreet Kaur against India. Even today, the one wicket that she got was quite crucial. So England are in a very good space because their experienced players obviously have played plenty of these big matches, and their youngsters like Sophia Dunkley and Charlie Dean have made the step up quite seamlessly. Maybe it's because of the 100, maybe it's because of the Super League, but yeah, so I think England need to just look at the first match of this tournament against Australia, where they almost chased down 310, and Nat Silver got that 100, which was probably one of the best innings of this tournament. So England will be confident and will back their chances of winning the title again. I don't think they've ever won the title back to back, but now is as good a time as any to do it.
Definitely. And as you mentioned about Sophia Dunkley, we were having a talk about her in the mid show as well. And Britney doesn't even mind if she is the upcoming skipper of the England side as well. But Dane, of course, but we are talking about England. We're talking about their journey. So looking back at their journey, we wouldn't say this that Australia are absolute favorites here. England have all the capacity. They have all the resources to go and surprise the number one ranked ODI side there.
Yeah, and they've got momentum with them, massive amounts of momentum. You're winning all these games on the trot, and the way they've gone about it, it means a lot. If you have momentum going into tournament, and I keep on saying, I don't know who's going to have a perfect. If Australia are going to have a perfect tournament, look, they are the number one team in the world. So I think Britain was spot on. It's going to be a brilliant game to watch. Two very good sides, two teams that's got really good momentum going for them. So. Good final for a very, very good World Cup.
A good final to watch out for, Britney?
Yes, very good final. Even though England lost against Australia, as Mohit just said, it was a really pretty close game, and it was some great performances from both teams. So both teams will be going into this final, I believe, level. And as Dan is saying, that England will have this momentum going forward, this confidence going forward, because they've been playing semi-finals after semi-finals after semi-finals, knockout after knockout. So they're in this must-win position that they always in, and they're always under pressure compared to probably Australia, who just probably the semi-final. But England have this confidence now that that they go every game they go in, they have to win. So it's going to be the same mindset for them going into this final, obviously.
Definitely. And that brings me to the statement that Heather Knight said in the presser, that we've been playing knockout games since the last 4 games. And as Danny mentioned for us, that they have the momentum by their side, and Australia have also had a good outing in this tournament so far. So it would be interesting to see how the things are going to pan out on April 3. This tournament has probably shown us everything, a lot of emotions, a lot of close matches, tense moments, and we couldn't have asked for better. And finally, we have the 2 finalists in England and Australia. It would be interesting to see who is going to lift the title. Australia, 6-time World Cup champions, England, 4-time World Cup champions. Going to be a great contest between the Meg Lannon side versus the Heather Knight-led side, and let's see how it goes. We'll, of course, join you for the pre, mid, and post show of the final as well. So stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone for all the updates on women's cricket.